Welcome back. Episode 15. And for this milestone, we're going to do a little bit of a special here. So I'm not sure how long it may be able to last. But we're going to go towards the white giant, Antarctica. And as most of my episodes early on here are pretty preliminary, eventually, as the technology gets more in depth, hopefully my shows will, and the history. So, just gonna see what we can see over here in this fine continent down under. So, from February 2016, almost 2 years ago, quite an interesting view. Looks like an interesting traveler out on his own. Do a quick view around, but interesting to see like these vehicles here. And this weird glacier. It's kind of this cliffside, you know, out in front. And then these, interesting cliff sides. So that's some good altitude gain. I would say from that snowy patch through this crack up towards the top lip. My guess that's close to 3,000 foot gain. I've done a little bit of backpacking in my time, but that's my best guess. And it's not something you'd always want to see in Antarctica, but it looks like a puddle. Yep, and straight ahead, that's a giant rock, which is pretty cool. Just protruding out there. You got some. This almost looks volcanic here, but some sheer crackage here. Dare I say cleavage. But I haven't done too much like climbing up a crack. And I'm talking climbing here. Easy on the jokes, folks. But the angle makes it look kind of easy. If I had said this was like in, mid Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer, along those lines, it'd be a little bit more manageable. But being that this is Antarctica, that'd be pretty rough. Climbing is tough to do, first of all. And then if you're climbing, like, if you're using gloves, I don't like it. But if you're using hands, it's a lot better. But when you're using hands in very frigid, cold air, that is tough to do. Because your hands dry out, and then they crack, and then they bleed, and they don't heal. And if it's cold, and it's cracked, and they're bleeding, then it's just like, it just keeps getting worse. What I do like here, though, along this base is like this kind of snow line, and looks like a nice little edge to walk around towards this summit. So really cool picture. So kudos to you, Craig Scheffler. Man, that is a rad photo. And a beautiful blue sky. It's cool to actually see a photo with the sun like this in it. Because if you ever take a photo of a sun, it is not easy. So that was really sensational. And it's really odd to see that side of Antarctica. A lot of them are going to be over here, which we'll get to in a second. But I'm going to check out these two other points before I go into this little underhook here. Wow, beautiful. Um, Man, the erosion here looks like you would see on a cliffside, you know, that I'm familiar with along the Pacific. Some interesting erosion that you would see along the ocean's water edge. This almost looks like clouds. The rocks, that is beautiful. Seems like a nice area to do some bouldering. Oh, look at that. It's a lot of penguins. Nice. So now we know where they lie. Just kidding. But we do. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but nice photo. Well done. And these guys are smart. Check out this area. Let's just zoom around. Wow, it looks like it's kind of thawed out here. You got the water kind of seeping through this crack. And with that, you know, it's a lot of erosion that's been happening over time, which I guess is going to happen. But this guy's here. Apparently he took it in December, so that's pretty amazing. And I guess the contrast to that is that, you know, if this is December, it looks kind of like it's thawed. But, you know, whether or not that is the case is something else. But it is very interesting nonetheless. So, huge rockage right here. I really like this contrast. And this photo is just high res enough to get this close to see this contrast from this dark and light rock. Wow, that's really neat. It's kind of interesting to see this kind of bleed through this line here and kind of exposed over there, so it's kind of like it's underneath it all. So that's really amazing. And some very impressive icescapes straight ahead, snow, cliffs, glacier. These rock lines are just amazing. So I'm very stoked to see these kind of photos because of where they're at in time. And the last thing that I wanted to say about this image is the location of these penguins is just brilliant. They're over here incredibly inland, and they're in this like valley away from the ocean. Whew, I have no idea how they traverse out of here, but it is something else for them to be that far away from the ocean. I would expect it to see them in like lining up in the ocean like right down here. Whew. But no, they're seeking refuge in here for December. You know, it's probably between storms, hence why this person is able to take these photos. You know, this erosion that's creating these holes within this rock is interesting. So I hope to have some special guests on this show eventually to be able to explain things like this in greater detail. So hopefully that'll happen someday soon. Move along to another point here. And wow. Beautiful. I figured that was a coastline, but I think that's the ocean. Maybe it's frozen. Maybe that's more horizon. I don't know. Maybe it's fog. I'm not sure how high up we are. But if this is as recent as it is, this is just last month, which is November, so roughly last month anyways. So Brent Barnes, thank you for this photo. Very rugged, a lot of bouldering to be had getting up here. And I guess these tanks are for living create enough heat to live, which is, you know, the side effect of why all the controversy is for this part of the world. But it's very minimal, absolutely, nonetheless. So very cool pocket, beautiful rocks. So again, kind of like a repeat texture, but just fantastic. Looks like an interesting communication tower. Looks like something you'd see on Star Trek. I like that shot. That's like a wallpaper shot. And definitely got to point out the lower solar panel there. Looks like, I don't know. That one's weird. Looks like it's just some pole and a pail and a cable. So what that's lined up to, I don't know. Kind of is almost mini glacier here. And, you know, looks like they're doing some recon. It looks like a gentleman in a tan jacket, a gentleman in a yellow jacket, and a gorilla right in the middle there. Jumping out. So we went here, here, and here. Now it's we were here, right? Were we here? Let's double check. Whoa, no, we weren't. This looks like an area where they do your common tours as you're getting towards the South Pole. So, nice pan around. Interesting supplies. I wish I could get close enough to see what these were. I don't know if they're restrooms or offices, but very minimal, very small. You got your trash, you got your snow, you got your tracks. And my guess is that this building being like kind of this half semicircular tent means that it's insulated to keep everything inside alive, but so that it doesn't impact the environment outside too much. That's my thought anyways. Because of this tube tells me otherwise. That's where the exhaust goes, but you gotta cook, right? So it looks like they're trying to do what they can because of, you know, insulation and survival down here. Red drum says shoot me if you're protecting yourself from zombies. Lot of tents, which, you know, I wouldn't have expected down here at all because it's cold. The shots from November, look at this ridge line and these sheer steady cliffs. That is amazing, and to be able to survive in tents out here, that's pretty amazing. So the tents design, I've never seen anything like this, but they look freaking awesome. You got this like doorway in the middle. They're like mini spaceships. I'm surprised I don't see more people, but my guess is November. The shot is, I would say, during the beginning of the day, but it's probably more towards the middle of the day, right? Because I hear like days are short in the north and south, so maybe there's just not that many people out here, and they're out and about doing their thing. Maybe they'll come back later. This little building looks cool, you know, kind of a tent, but very permanent. Love this shot right here with the shadows. This is a base layer for Bob Ross for sure. Happy clouds, get the nice shadows and nice bright colors facing the sun. So this is really cool photo. So Sam Gilbert, well done. That's a great shot. Speeding it up here along. Not sure what this giant peninsula is called, but we're gonna check it out. So this shot is again beautiful. Herman Gabriel Rodriguez, thank you for this. Looks like a lot of, this is like rocks that you would see at like 12 1,000 feet in the Sierras, and you know, it's right here on the water's edge. Why? Because this area is frigid. Whew. What in the world? What a weird line. Weird. This is just weird little hut here. Very red, so just saying danger. Fuel. Little lock there. Goes underneath. Into here. Base San Martin. Of course. Everyone knew that. I mean, it's been here since 1951. Got the peninsula. Ambroste, Frontera, Legendi, Vincendoste. Yep. Should have known. And it is Johnson powered. Very red. Whew. Communication systems. Gotta love that. You know, map coordinates. It's gonna tell you where everything is in the world. So you gotta love that wherever you travel. That'd be a cool place. Herman, if you go back, please take a photo by that one. Keep it up. Looks like a little bird tower, watchtower thing. Got this little cable line that runs across up here. Fuel supplies. Snow. That's random. I mean, fuel supplies and then, like, I guess that's snow. But, you know, that's cool. A lot of cables just hanging around. Some random hut. I have no idea why that's there, but it's got to be something to do with power grid things. And here we go. Here's just a really cool shot. Choppy seas. We got our ice in the water. We got the snow drift off the top. So that is amazingly beautiful. And from this year, 2017. That dates the time I did this show, right? Moving forward along the peninsula. Red seems to be the common theme for buildings over here. Looks like we got some tourists hanging out with the locals. I like it. So this has been a fun journey into Antarctica. It's fun to see how people have managed to hang out here without gloves. I mean, it is not that cold. Beautiful, beautiful horizon. I mean, come on, these mountain tops. The prominence is very beautiful. People shoving off to the water. Quite a lot of them, for that matter. And a lot of locals just peacefully hanging out, mixing it up. This area is just magnificent. That's a great shot. Looks magical with that lilac purple color. It's beautiful. Peterman Island is what it says. I just realized, look at all these locals around the building. That is awesome. You know, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Able to come on land and survive in an area as rugged as this. That is phenomenal, because they're just living on things underwater. Carrying on here, let's see what else we can see. Moving a bit up north. Whoa. Hanging out with the locals. Some huge bones. Definitely whale. Wow. I mean, this area by Eric Strichter is pretty cool. Interesting in the history here. Got some more giant bones here. You know, things like this I wonder if this is here because of Ernst Shackleton. If you don't know about Ernst Shackleton, you should, if you're interested in Antarctica and exploration. What he did about 104 years ago was pretty insane. Managed to survive down here when they went shipwrecked just before World War One. Beautiful mountains in the distance, very prominent. I would have to say that's about 4,000 to 6,000 feet gain. Maybe not that high, but I don't know. From that distance, looks pretty good. Crazy rocks, crazy penguins, red inhabitants, UFOs. Say what you will. Cool shot this year. Moving along. Wow, we got a lot of photos, so that's pretty neat. We're just going to go up here on these islands, and we're not going to see them all today, but hopefully sometime in the future. Wow, look at that. Amazing rocks. Reminds me of the edges of Hawaii. Just this kind of volcanic rock. A little bit more eroded. But look at that. Beautiful skies. Beautiful snow. Whew, nice clouds. Looks like we have some ice drift on the horizon. That is wonderful. Whoa, let's take a look way out the distance here. I'm getting almost chills looking at it. December? Yeah, that's cold. They're like, yeah, this is a cold shot. Great photo. It's by the Coast Guard. English, so maybe United States, maybe English from the Falkland Islands. I'm not sure. Gotta keep moving north here. What we got here? Whoa. Very prominent. There's just a lot happening down here in Antarctica. Now I see all the allure. Giant ship. Got some ice in the water. Wow. What a tour. What a tour. I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. I'll stay on the big boat. This little boat, I don't know if I could trust it. Look how far away they are. From everything. From everything. Elephant Island. Elephant Island, I think, is significant because I want to say that Ernst Shackleton sailed from over here to Elephant Island and eventually to these ones, which we'll go check out on another episode. So, on that note, everyone, thank you so much. This has been just a fine surprise. I am just incredibly thrilled. We got to see so much of Antarctica, and I know there is so much more to see down there. So, this has been a great special episode for episode 15. So much to see down there, and very marvelous. Makes me appreciate being alive so much more. And please let me know your comments about weird, obscure places of the world to see. This one was just spur of the moment to be able to check that part out. And as always, thank you very much for tuning in. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.